What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the stimulus package update, what's going on in the world, money, investing, the stock market, and pretty much everything you need to know about. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us, and let's jump right in because we got a lot to cover. Okay, first up, here is Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer on the Senate floor regarding the debt ceiling agreement between the Democrats and the Republicans and between Republican leader Mitch McConnell.
Madam President.
Majority Leader.
Yes, for the information of members, I have a brief statement. I have some good news. We've reached an agreement on an extension of the debt ceiling through early September, and it's our hope that we can get this done today. What did I say? Oh, Jesus. September's passed already. Let me revise my statement. Madam President, we have reached agreement to extend the debt ceiling through early December, and it's our hope that we can get this done as soon as today. I yield the floor.
So Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer announces they have reached an agreement to extend the debt ceiling until early September. And I'm like, it's October, September, that would be till last month. What? And someone in the background's like, no, not September. And then he's like, what did I say? Yeah. So they're still trying to finalize this bill. And we have some Republican senators like Lindsey Graham saying, don't do the deal. Don't do the deal. So they still need to pass the bill here in the Senate. So this deal that has been reached between the leaders of the Senate, Mitch McConnell and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, would be just a short-term deal to raise the debt ceiling until December. So this would avert a first-time ever government default or default of the Treasury, where the Treasury Department would literally run out of money. It would provide us some breathing room that we need to do. We need to do this to prevent a government default. This would actually raise the debt limit, by $480 billion, even just for 2 months. So that shows you how much of a deficit our government runs on an average everyday basis. Now, with this news, the stock market, the Dow Jones Index, jumped over 500 points. And we had about a 500-point swing yesterday. I think 550-point swing yesterday. The Dow Jones was down 450 points yesterday intraday, and actually ended up 100 points. So we had a huge down point yesterday, and when they announced the deal, it actually ended up 100 points. We're up 500 points as of recording today, as just the thought of not defaulting would has sent stocks soaring here today. So they haven't passed the bill yet, though. They still need to do this, and anything could happen until they actually pass the bill. Now, remember, though, this is just a 2-month temporary extension on the debt ceiling, and they will still need to pass this as a more permanent extension, which will probably only be a year. And remember, Mitch McConnell, Senate Minority Leader or leader for the Republicans in the Senate, still wants to force Democrats to do this through the reconciliation process on their own, which Democrats really don't want to do on their own. Democrats will probably have to swallow a little bit of their pride when they pass the stimulus package and raise the debt limit ceiling on their own. Here is White House Council of Economic Advisors, Jared Bernstein, on this how the Democrats are going to have to do this, and whether or not this is a ploy by Mitch McConnell, and how they're going to have to do this in 2 months, and what the strategy will be having to do this. Check this out.
The Senate Majority Leader says they've got a deal over raising the debt ceiling, and a vote could come as early as today. It is crucial for the White House as they face an agenda on hold until, well, at least then. Joining me right now is Jared Bernstein, a member of the White House Council of Economic Advisors. Thank you for being here, Jared. If this deal goes through on the debt ceiling, what is going to happen in December? How is this providing any certainty?
Yeah, that's a great way to tee up the question. We're certainly happy to have a little bit of breathing room here, and we're in close touch with Senator Schumer and his team. But we cannot forget the important point that you underscored, which is that this simply kicks the can down the road. It gives us some breathing room, but it doesn't resolve an issue that shouldn't even be this level of a debate or a fight right now. And the reason for that is that this is debt that was accrued by both parties. Democrats have been pushing hard to raise this debt ceiling. $8 trillion of this debt, in fact, was accrued under Trump and McConnell in the previous administration. And yet, despite the fact that the debt ceiling has been raised 80 times in the past 60 years, in many cases through bipartisan cooperation, while Democrats have consistently tried to get Republicans to go along, they haven't done so. So sure, we're glad to see this respite in terms of this Republican-driven potential default, but it shouldn't even have gotten to this point.
And you're up against a wall again in 2 months. I mean, do you worry you're playing into a Mitch McConnell chess match here? You've been around Washington a long time.
Yeah, look, first of all, again, you're making some really important points that I want to underscore. 2 months of continuing to argue about this does not resolve uncertainty. It just keeps it going for another 8 weeks. And that's why Democrats have said to Republicans, this is a joint responsibility. This is a joint responsibility. Let us hold hands and fix it together. Republicans have consistently said, no, we won't work with you. Unlike the Democrats, worked with the Trump folks 3 times to raise the debt ceiling. So then we said, Republicans, get out of the way. We'll do it ourselves. Again, no deal. So look, we are the grown-ups in the room here, and we have to oversee an economy, a global economy, wherein the U.S. Treasury and the faith and credit of U.S. debt is key to the foundation of global economics. And so not only do we have to be sure that Social Security recipients and military members get their payments, but we also have to make sure that our creditors get paid. So we are being the grown-ups in the room. We're not getting a lot of cooperation from Republicans, but we continue to negotiate to try to get this behind us.
Grown-ups and children alike are going to be up against a wall in 2 months. I don't know how it gets easier when you're facing down a government shutdown at the very same time, but maybe when it's truly, truly horrible and immediate, maybe then.
Yeah, remember that the government shutdown extension is only till December 3rd as well. So they're going to have to pass another government shutdown extension and a debt limit extension in December or before early December. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. So yeah, we're seeing a temporary uptick in the stock market, which is really good because it's definitely better than, just everything continuing to go down. And this will, as long as they pass the bill, remember, we're still on very shaky ground between Republicans and Democrats for this debt ceiling impasse. They still have to pass the bill. They still have to put it in writing, put it to a vote, and actually get the votes. Hopefully that will be done here today. I will keep you updated. My next video will be at 8 p.m. Eastern. I will keep you up to date on that. Now let's move to the stimulus package, where Senator Bernie Sanders, who's the Senate budget chairman, person in charge of the $3.5 trillion stimulus package, which is now going to be somewhere in the $2 trillion range, $2 to $2.9 trillion, is pressing Senator Joe Manchin for details on the bill.
I was struck by the fact that after you gave your press conference today and talked about Senator Manchin by name in such specific terms, he put out a statement saying that you and he have very different political beliefs and that he thinks that you want America to be an entitlement society where he doesn't want that. He wants what he called a compassionate and rewarding society. It's an unusual dynamic playing out sort of effectively through the press. With you at this press conference and him in this written statement today, are the two of you going to eventually get together face to face and talk this out personally? Will that part of be the way this resolves?
Well, it's not just me. We do meet. He's part of leadership. I'm part of the Democratic leadership. Every week we sit down, and these issues do coming up. I'm not quite sure, and we need Mr. Manchin, Senator Manchin, to help us out here, what a compassionate and rewarding society it's about. Does that mean addressing the reality that 600,000 people in America are homeless? Does it mean dealing with the grotesque level of income and wealth inequality that we have? Does it mean, dealing with the fact that 1 out of 4 Americans can't fill the prescriptions that their doctors write because the price of drugs in this country is in some cases 10 times higher than it is in Canada and other countries. So we need some specificity. Now, if he wants to say, I believe in an entitlement society, I would not look at it, use that phraseology. I do believe in a nation based on economic, social, racial, and environmental justice. Yeah, frankly, I admit it. You got it right here on your show. I believe that all Americans are entitled as human beings to health care. I believe people are entitled to quality education regardless of their income. I believe that people are entitled to affordable housing. I don't believe that 2 people are entitled to own more wealth than the bottom 40% of American society. And by the way, one of the things that's playing out here, Rachel, and I don't think the media has paid appropriate attention to it, is in the midst of all of this, the ruling class of this country, and that is the drug companies, the insurance companies, fossil fuel industry, they're spending hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. Pharmaceutical industry has 1,500 paid lobbyists on Capitol Hill, 3 lobbyists for every member of Congress, so that we don't raise prescription drugs. So this is a pivotal moment in American history, it seems to me, really. And I'm going to continue to fight, as I have, for working families and do my best to prevent this country from moving in an authoritarian direction, because you've got so many people out there. They're working long hours for lower wages. Their kids are going nowhere in a hurry. They can't take care of their parents. And they are saying, does the United States government care about me, or are they only worried about their campaign contributions from wealthy individuals? So this is not only trying to improve life for working families who are really struggling to keep their ends together. It is whether or not we retain a democracy in which government works for all and not just the very wealthy and the powerful.
So Bernie Sanders, who's the Senate budget chairman, he's the person largely considered in charge of this this stimulus package, the American Families Plan, the reconciliation package, this social spending package, whatever you want to call it. It has a lot of different names, and he's really pushing Senator Joe Manchin to tell us what you want for this this package. Tell us your number that you want. Tell us what you want in this package. Tell us what you don't want in this package. And Bernie's had really been kind of attacking Senator Joe Manchin here in the last, even the last 24 hours. If you watch the video before this, he was really just having a verbal campaign against Senator Joe Manchin, just really blasting him. If you want to watch, I'll link you to the video before this here at the end of this video. He really just, I have not really seen him go against Senator Joe Manchin in that form, maybe ever. He was really just putting him on blast. And remember that this is a fellow Democrat. They're from the same party. They're from the same Senate. They're on the same side. And ultimately, Bernie needs Joe Manchin's vote. They have to vote yes. If Joe Manchin doesn't vote yes, if he pisses him off too much, he could vote no and not get this vote. So it's a very fine line you have to walk with these negotiations, right? If you piss somebody off too much, I mean, they could just say, I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy at all. I'm not giving him my vote. So think about the art of the negotiation here, right? It's just like, yeah, you need to get them on your side, but winning somebody over, there's a tact to it. And I'm not saying Bernie's wrong. I'm just saying about when you think about winning somebody over and trying to get them to agree to something that you want. There's so many different angles and ways that you could go about it. And almost kind of smearing somebody in the media, which is kind of what Bernie did. It's an interesting way he's going about it. And I'm not saying he's wrong, because who am I to, I'm no senator or anything like that. I mean, but it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And right now, Joe Manchin is he's kind of pushed backpedaling a little bit, saying, well, I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think that Joe Manchin will concede in a way and either meet Bernie halfway or meet the rest of the Democrats halfway and come to where they want. Remember, Pramila Jayapal says that she wants at least 2.5 trillion. She's the leader of the House Progressive Democrats. She's saying she wants at least 2.5 trillion. So I don't know if Joe Manchin is going to come anywhere near 2.5 trillion. So it'll be interesting to see how this works. Another thing that could happen is they could get whatever they will or whatever they can get out of Joe Manchin for this deal and then put whatever they can't into the next deal. Remember that on October 1st, which was now 7 days ago, they get new reconciliation cards or new reconciliation processes. October 1st is the start of the new fiscal year, the 2022 fiscal year. Even though it's not 2022, the new fiscal year for the government starts on October 1st and goes from October 1st to October 1st. So they actually get new reconciliation cards or new reconciliation processes. So they actually can use more of these now. It's 2 to 3 per year, depending on what the Senate parliamentarian will say later on in the year. But they have at least 2 more of these now that they can use. Now, of course, they're still trying to pass the American Rescue Plan. So obviously they're not thinking about using 2 more at this moment, but they can if they need to, if they want to, when the time comes. So there will be a time and a place for those down the line over the next 12 months, which is obviously that's what they have until the next midterm elections. So November of 2022 will be that key date when the House and the Senate go up for re-election. Obviously not the presidency. That won't be until 2024, which is going to be probably a rematch of former President Donald Trump for the Republicans and current President Biden for the Democrats, unless something drastic changes on either of the fronts there. But in the meantime, in about a year from now, we will see the House and the Senate go up for re-election. Of course, the Republicans think that they're going to win one or both of them. The Democrats think that they're going to retain both of them. So the Democrats are saying that they need to pass both of these packages, the physical infrastructure package and the stimulus package, to be able to retain both the House and the Senate, and probably packages after this. Remember, they're going to have a full, like basically 12 months to pass a couple more packages in there, probably another like 2 packages or so over the course of the next 12 months, 2 major packages, along with, other minor bills along the way and stuff like that, some standalone bills, something along those lines. Now, remember that even after this major package is passed, there's other opportunities for stimulus and other things in the major reconciliation bills that will be there, or even standalone bills. Remember that we have had standalone bills passed. I'll bring up this stimulus provisions being discussed. All these items in black here are the items being discussed for the next stimulus package. These items in green are stimulus items that have been passed by the basically by the Democratic Party or by the president, even without Congress. Okay. So they've paused student loan payments, interest, garnishments, and everything like that for over 40 million people. They did that even without Congress. So that's for over 40 million people. So that's pausing the student loan payments, interest, garnishments for 40 million people. That's a lot. 25% permanent SNAP increase that started here in October. That's a permanent increase that's going to go forever. Forever. That's for over 40 million people as well. Those are 2 major things. And the student loan forgiveness that has over $10 billion. That's actually just a small amount. We're going to be expected to see a lot more, probably a lot more even after they pass this next package. I think we're going to see a lot more then as well. All that's been done even without Congress approval. Okay. And when we also think about that Cash Act that former President Donald Trump wanted to raise those $600 stimulus checks to $1,400, that was a standalone bill. Okay. That was just a standalone bill for $1,400 stimulus checks. They can do that as well. Remember that Mitch McConnell blocked them. Yeah, I mean, Mitch McConnell literally single-handedly blocked them. Former President Trump was the one who wanted them. But Mitch McConnell is no longer majority leader of the Senate. So they can do standalone bills for stimulus checks or other type of stimulus items. So all those things could come to pass at any given point, and they can do those type of things through reconciliation or through reconciliation big huge programs or big huge packages. And they now have more reconciliation cards that they can use over the course of the next 12 months and through this next stimulus package. So we have this big huge package. We're probably going to have more over the next 12 months, probably another like 2 big packages, and they can do standalone bills as well, like the Cash Act, that the $1,400 stimulus check. It was literally a standalone bill that Mitch McConnell blocked, but Mitch McConnell's no longer the Senate Majority Leader, so he can't block bills in that fashion anymore. So all these things I'll keep you up to date on this channel. The debt ceiling bill, which they still need to pass, they have a tentative deal, but nothing is done until they actually pass the bill. So that could come today. So I'll keep you up to date. Don't miss our 8 p.m. video. Hopefully that will be done here today, because nothing is done until it's actually in a bill and done by the Senate and the House and signed by the president. So make sure to subscribe down below. If you haven't yet, it's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click here for my newest stimulus check video next, which was about Senator Bernie Sanders blasting Joe Manchin. Click on that to watch that if you haven't yet. And this is my newest video on Social Security raises. There's 2 or 3 potentially on the horizon. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.